Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to meet with the Biostats admitted students for our presentation today. I'm going to pass over to Nika White to start out our welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon to you all. We are so excited to introduce ourselves to you and share the support and what we have to offer you when you come to Michigan. We recognize that it can be really, really intimidating, and so we are just really making sure that we present ourselves as welcoming as can be. My name is Nia Kawait. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am your employer engagement coordinator, and I'm joined with two of my colleagues. I'll pass it over to Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Anderson. I'm a career services coordinator, so I meet with students one-on-one and I work with our data that I'll share to some of which I'll share today. I'll pass it to Ari.
Hello again. My name is Ari Renda. I'm the Associate Director of Career Services. As Nika shared, we are so excited to meet with you today. I'll pass it back to Nika to share a little bit more about our team.
Yes, yes, yes. And so as you see, the remaining photo shows that we have a marketing intern, a data intern, an employment intern, a couple of other peer coaches, and then the three of us that are here today. And I just really want to point out this quote that says, every person who works in the careers office brings enthusiasm and joy to their job and genuinely shows an interest and care in each student. And so just as Kyle and Nicole were greeting you all as you were coming in, we want to get the opportunity to greet you when you come onto the campus, okay? So for the next slide, I'm going to share what exactly we will be covering during this session. And so in this session, we are going to share what is the career value of a public health degree, kind of the overlining question, underlining question that's happening within public health. And then we're going to shift over to share what type of career support you will receive here at the School of Public Health at Michigan. And then we'll leave some time at the end for some questions and some answers. So thank you for joining us again. I'll pass it over to Ari.
All right, so we're going to jump in as Nika shared, what is the career value of a public health degree? And specifically, we're going to focus on the biostats aspects of that public health degree. We want to make sure that you all feel confident with what you will gain from getting your education at University of Michigan School of Public Health. So here we have done a lot of work at our office to understand what is the job landscape for students that are gaining degrees in public health. And so one of the pieces that we want to show you is that we've done this research to understand what jobs are out there, what different fields do they fit into. Each of these buckets here, so there's 7 buckets across both of these slides. So there's 4 here, and then there's 3 on this slide. And each of these buckets include various job types within them. And these are based on the skills that you are performing within that role. And so you can see here, environmental health and risk assessment, health data science analysis and research, health policy law and planning. These are the types of skills that you will be using in your work. And most of our biostat students are looking at positions in health data science analysis and research. And so you can see some of our different job titles here, but we also want to make sure that you know about the different skills that students will receive and the job opportunities available. And so where each of these sections, as a Michigan Public Health student, you will be able to come to our resources. This is our resource site here, and you'll be able to go to your field. So health data science analysis and research, as I mentioned, this is a key field, public health field for our biostat students. So you can come in here, you can see some of the prominent employment sectors. So folks are hired across all different sectors within this field. You can see sample job titles. You can see sample tasks and responsibilities. You can see organizations and job titles where folks are working within this specific field. You can see alumni talking about what is their experience working there. So somebody doing research project management at Henry Ford Health, what does that look like on a day-to-day basis? We have somebody who's doing analytics. And then we have different panels here where we've had folks share about what is my work like working in this specific field. We have hiring trends, so job outlook as well as international student outlook, and then various preparation for these careers. So you can see a lot of your biostats courses listed here to make sure that you are prepped for engaging in that health data science analysis and research. Um, field specifically. But here are some of the other ones. We do have some biostat students that pursue consulting. And so we have some, the same level of resources to prepare students for consulting. If consulting is something that you're interested in, we want to make sure that you get connected early since those hiring timelines are early. And so we'll have lots of support with getting ready for case interviews, making sure that you get an internship in the field of consulting. And so those are some of the key areas that our biostat students pursue. And we want to make sure you have the support for navigating those spaces. The other thing that we often share with students, especially in the current job market landscape, is that these are transferable skills. So as you gain skills within the field of health data science analysis and research, you are also preparing yourself for a host of job titles within other fields as well. So these are fields that are adjacent to public health. So things like market research and consumer insights, business intelligence and operation analytics. And in each of our career exploration pages, we have a section at the bottom where you can see related fields adjacent to public health. You can look at these, you can see a description of that field, you can see the skills that are needed within that field. So you see statistical analysis, segmentation, and then employers that are hiring within that field. So with the degree within Michigan Public Health, we are preparing you for those fields and those skills within public health, but you are also receiving skills that are transferable that can be applied across a wide variety of fields. And so those are all the different fields. And we also have, consulting as well, different fields that are adjacent. And so happy to talk through support. We're going to talk at the end of our session about the specific coaching and services and resources that we provide as well. And over to Stephanie to talk about interns and graduates to share some outcomes data.
Thank you, Aria and Nika. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I do work with the data in our office. So one thing that we collect every year is what students do over the summer. So you can see here, this is biostatistics specifically, students in the department. This is from this last summer. So students who went out in the summer and did their internships, this is the sectors that they were working in. So as you can see, private definitely was the most common sector that students worked in, but they also worked across educational research systems like universities, research centers, government organizations, as well as nonprofits. So across the board, but very much focus in private, which we definitely see a lot of statistics. And you can see the average pay as well is over $33 an hour for the biostatistics students for their internships last summer. So that was exciting to see. And then across the board, so I showed you like kind of where in general people were working. And here are some specific organizations of where students were working over the summer. So you can see, Alexion Pharmaceuticals, Boston Scientific, so some, biotech, pharma companies. Eli Lilly kind of is in there as well. And then we have, Center for Global Health Equity. So that's like a research center here on campus at University of Michigan. Glaukos, Humana, Institute for Systems Biology. So Johnson & Johnson. So a lot of private are here. And as well as, then you see like University of Michigan Institute for Firearm Prevention. So you can see, you have lots of different options. Obviously, these are not the only options you have, but we can help support you. And it's cool to see like where people have gone before and like what might be possible for you. So we can help you kind of brainstorm where you might want to be and show you, maybe connect you with students who have worked in these places if you're interested in talking with them. Like, how did you get your internship here? So just want to show that. And then thinking about, how are those experiences that they had? So we want you to imagine what it can look like for you. So we received this data is also from last summer from internship experiences. So we saw that almost 69% of internships that students received were sourced through Michigan Public Health. So through events, through alumni, through our job board. So keep that in mind. We can definitely support you in getting a summer experience. And then 45% of students received a return offer. And we did hear that from it. I will say the data, there are a lot more students that reported like where their internship came from, and then we do a post survey of like, did you receive a return offer? We get a lot less data for that. So there was 130 students that responded to this return offer, but whereas there was like 280 students that responded to the first question of like, where did you source your internship through? So I just wanted to point that out. And then the career value, this is also from that student report afterwards. So from those 130 students who reported, they received, they increased their confidence in public health skills. 97% of students reported that. 95% of students reported forming valuable connection within their career field, which is obviously huge, you know, if you're looking to go into a similar field after graduation. And then 95% of students said they received clarity on their career path as well. And then now we're moving from internship to post-grad data. So this is for biostats specifically, and this is again the sectors, because so you saw them a little bit in the internship sectors, but this is for 2024 and 2025 graduates. I will mention that we're not quite done collecting the 2025 graduates data yet because we just closed the survey last week, and so now we're doing, you know, more searching on what people are doing and individual outreach for that. So the 2025 isn't yet complete, but this is what we have as of now. But you can see again, private is a large chunk, but you can actually see after graduation, a lot more folks actually go into the educational research system. So you can kind of take a look at like maybe which sector you're interested in, see like where folks are going there. Again, 2025 will likely change because we don't have all the data yet, but it's always interesting to see where people are going after graduation. You can see health system also is popping up there in 2024 quite a bit. So always excited to see. Again, look at where you're interested. We can help you get there. Some sample organizations from 2024 biostatistics graduates. So again, you can kind of see we have, you know, private organizations, including like pharmaceutical companies like Amazon, using their skills there. And as you also have like insurance, so like Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, research institutes like Broad, and um, then you have like a lot of different, so like Michigan Medicine, huge hospital system, and then educational research systems, as well as government organizations. So again, this will hopefully help you see like what's possible with this degree, and we can help you get there. All people usually are also wondering about the salaries. So this is 2024 and 2025 salaries by sector. And I believe this by sector is for all graduates. Or is it? Yeah. So the by sector is for all graduates post-graduation. And then under that, you can see we have the average biostatistics salary reported after graduation. So for 2024, it was 85,000. For 2025, it's 89,000. And again, we're still collecting those points of data. But yeah, take a look at where you might want to be. Obviously, like each sector is unique. And again, we can help explain this to you. Like we offer one-on-one coaching appointments, so we can help, you know, you target kind of what you're looking at as far as sector goes and what salary you might want to target as well. And then you can see here some trends across the last several years through different sectors. And so you can see, you know, the keys on the bottom as far as different sectors. So like educational research system is the green dot. Then we have government is the triangle, health system, the square, nonprofit organization, the diamond, and private, the star. So you can kind of take a look at like what the trends are for salary. Again, this is, I will say, like we don't get as many people reporting this. And we have gotten more in future years, but yeah, this is just kind of what we've seen. So take a look at a salary you're interested in, and then the averages and the black line in the middle. So take a look.
Mention this, but just to make it really clear, what you're seeing on this chart is student reported. So this is what we're seeing from the reports. This isn't saying this is where the salaries are generally, like from your labor statistics. It's just what students are reporting their salaries as.
Yeah, so similar to the last several slides, it's like what we're hearing from students. That's the data that we're presenting. Thanks, sorry for adding that. And then for biostatistics students specifically, after graduation in 2024, the placement percentage, 94% of graduates reported being employed or pursuing an advanced degree, and that was with a 92% response rate. And then what was really cool to see is we also collect their reported job satisfaction rating, and so 100% of graduates were satisfied with the positions they received after graduation. So it's always great to see.
All right. So Stephanie gave you an overview of all the different data on these slides, but we also wanted you to have the opportunity to explore the data yourself. So I am going to put into the chat a link that you all can open up and I had the chat. There it is. All right. So this is, there's also a QR code here as well as a tiny URL, but I just put the tiny URL in the chat so you can pull it up yourself. This is the page where you can go to see the employment of recent graduates. We know there can be a lot of questions. Where are people going? Where are they getting jobs? We'll also follow up to share these slides with you afterwards so you can look at the charts yourself. But when you pull up this page, employment of recent graduates, you can go to Biostats and you can see the list of these reports that we have created throughout the year. So our 2025 report has data from our 2024 graduates. So as Stephanie mentioned, we're still collecting our 2025 graduate data, but our 2024 graduate data is complete. And here it is for you with regard to all of the outcomes of Biostat students. So you can see the pie chart breakdown of where people are working, the salary ranges. You can see a lot of those companies that we mentioned. And then here is an employment breakdown by sector. We shared those pie charts with you, but you also have them here on this report. And then we also have created a Tableau database. So this is the broad sector overview across 4 different sectors. If you go to our Tableau database, so you'll open it up here, you'll click on Michigan Public Health Alumni Outcomes Tableau Dashboard. You can open that up and you can click on 2024 for the most recent data. Let's see if this will load for me. Once you pull up the 2024 data, you'll be able to see the detailed industry. So when we were talking about the, here we go. We're talking about the private sector, we're talking about government sector. Now we can go to detailed industry here. I can pull up, oops, you can pull up industry, but we want to go to biostats. So we're going to pull up biostats here, and then we can see more of a detailed breakdown across doctorate and master's of where people are working. So we can see, the 24 of the graduates were working in the hospital system. We see insurance company, right? So instead of that broader breakdown of private sector, now we have a more detailed industry breakdown of insurance company, large corporation. We have pharmaceutical company, research institute, university focused on research, a consulting company, right? So you can see that more detailed breakdown across 2020 through 2024. You can see that in relation to salary as well here. So we can look and we can pull up specifically biostats. And you can see the salary breakdown across the different sectors. And then you can also do that for location and for country and state. So please feel free to review this data as desired and reach out to us for questions if you are looking for something specific. I'll pass back to Stephanie to talk through the job placement.
Awesome. Thanks, Ari. Yeah, definitely encourage you to go there. And then again, some more recent data as far as like what the last couple months, where are people getting internships and jobs? So we have a list here, you have all across a lot of private organizations, again, biotech and pharmaceutical consulting companies as well. And we have some, health systems, hospital systems, research groups, as well as government departments and nonprofits. So all across sectors, we are seeing people getting jobs the last couple months as well. So it's exciting.
70 and specifically our current public health internships and jobs where folks are getting positions. Okay, so what positions are available? So we gave you an overview of where students and graduates getting internships and jobs. What does that look like in terms of sectors, salary, industry? And now we want to talk about the job market generally. What positions are available? So when we think about the job market, we're talking about what jobs are being posted. We are doing Bureau of Labor Statistics analysis every month. It is released the first Friday of the month. And so we're going into that. We're pulling that data. We're presenting that to you in monthly messages. We are also doing a analysis of our job board. So we're going to talk a little bit about our job board, which is a site that we use. We get all sorts of jobs from different newsletters, from alumni, from employers. We put all of those jobs into our job board. We post between 400 and 650 internships and jobs every month. And then we take that data and we create visualizations like you'll see here. So this is our February 2026 breakdown of the number of jobs that we posted. So you can see the number at the bottom as well as a sector breakdown. So we're trying to get a sense of what jobs are out there, where are the trends. We do this both in a monthly basis and in a year basis, which I'll show you in just a moment. And we share this to the Biostats listserv every month. So you'll get a message from our team where we're saying, here are some internships that are relevant to Biostat students, here are some jobs that are relevant to Biostat students, here's some upcoming events that Biostat students could be interested in. And then here's the job market analysis of where we are in terms of what the sectors are looking like from that month and where are positions available. Here, we're always going to do a year breakdown as well, so you can see February 2025 to 2026. And it's pretty distributed across the different sectors, and you can see the number of jobs that we posted across that year. So with sharing you these slides, we want to show you that we are keeping tabs on the market, we are analyzing the market, and we are reporting about those findings to you so that you can keep that in mind as you're navigating your search and you're thinking about where am I specializing, where am I focusing my skills so that I can make sure that I have the position that aligns with my goals. And then lastly, I want to just share this breakdown of some job postings that we had from February and March 2026. I know folks are kind of wondering, like, what is out there? What types of positions are available? Here is a slide with the positions that we posted. I went through and pulled some more specific Biostats positions for you all. So you can see across health systems, government, private, nonprofit, and educational research, there are data-focused, analysis-focused, data science-focused, and biostats positions. So these are some samples. If you're interested in a specific sector, you can kind of take a look at this slide and see which positions might be interesting to you. I know we mentioned that we have a high concentration of our graduates that are going into private and educational research, but I want to make sure that you all can see across the different sectors everything that is available for folks with your specialization. All right, passing it over to Nika about the career support you will receive from our team.
Thank you so much, Ari. So, what type of support? We just showed you a lot of data, a lot of opportunities, a lot of trends, and just records of what's been going on. So, what can we do to help you with that? First thing I really want you to realize is that we are here to support you throughout the entire journey. So, we have a quote here: the SPH Careers Office is extremely open, approachable, professional, and helpful. I've been able to refine my resume with their guidance and know that they are ready to help me with many other things, especially my job search next year. So you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have everything planned out. If you do, that's great. We'd love to help you make those connections and things. But as you can see, we have a picture of us tabling. You will see us as soon as you get onto campus, just really introducing ourselves. In the middle picture, we like to have fun. We like to just really be, as we've said before, approachable and open to you all. And in the last picture, we have one of our peer coaches. They are a great representation of who we are and what we hope to support you with and through. And so one of the things helping you with your journey is we are having an internship and job search essential training. It will start on September 4th. It will be every Friday from 12 to 1:30. And this is going to help you get some training in terms of what exactly do I want to do? What exactly should I be preparing? What should my resume look like for this particular internship, for this particular job? How can I find the actual position that I want, an internship that I want? We are really wanting to make sure that you don't have to come in here and figure things out on your own. And so through these trainings, you'll be able to work on your resume and cover letters, work on your elevator pitch, figure out how do you maintain connection, how do you initiate connection, and how do you make sure that as you move forward with connection, you get interviews and offers, what is exactly the type of questions I should be answering? How do I negotiate salary? All of these things we will want to make sure that you have readily available for you. And so we definitely recommend doing these trainings. Again, they will be on Friday starting on September 4th. And so, with this training, one of the things that you'll be learning about and becoming very familiar with, I already kind of already showed you a little bit with the biostats tab, but we have a career resource website, and it is detailed for all of those things that I just mentioned in the previous slide: resume, cover letter, department-specific career information. Okay, we've seen the data about government or the research and education system is really high. What exactly were those titles and those positions again? You will be able to utilize the resources on this website to look up all of those information. We also, not just in terms of career focus, but resources if you're an international student, resources if you are feeling like you're overwhelmed. What are some of the things within our wellness career resource tab to be able to maintain just your focus, your strengths, and all those things that's helpful. And one of the great things about this is accessible for all those who have a UMich email address. So which you will have until the end of time. So you will have access to this even after you graduate, move forward in your career, come back as an alum to help out, hint, hint. But you will be able to utilize this resource website site for all of time. And I love this quote: career service website. This person is a visual learner, and so having the examples to look and having the access to get some ideas of how to prep for interviews or how to update a cover letter is extremely helpful. It's not just worksheets on what to do, but there are also templates available. Very, very highly useful for you all.
Amazing. Thank you, Nika. All right, so we're going to jump in. I want to show you all two examples from the resource site that Nika gave us an overview for. The first one is a career preparation roadmap. And I'll just start with this quote that a student had shared. It's been very nice to get such targeted career support for the field of public health, which has a very different job market from many other careers. And so the School of Public Health, you have access to a career center specifically for public health students. You know, in some universities, it's a university-wide center, but by coming to the School of Public Health, you will be able to have public health specific support. And as we shared, our resources are tailored for your department. So Nika shared about the department specific tab. So we have a tab focused for biostat students where you can see all of the past internship organizations of biostat students, the alumni that are graduated from biostats and all of their different job titles and organizations and different resources. Then I want to show you on our homepage. So this is what the homepage will look like that for the resource sites you'll have access to. You'll be able to access this master's roadmap. And so I'll show you what that looks like here. We have a set of job search skills, and Nika talked about that job search training that you will receive, if you choose to participate starting in September. And these are the key skills that we want to make sure that all students understand, they know how to use, and that they feel confident. And in order to navigate the job market, not only graduating from the biostats program, but throughout your entire career. So if you are to pivot careers at any point, you know how to engage in the job search. You have those skills down. You feel confident in navigating that process, which can also oftentimes feel intimidating. So we have all of these different job search skills set up. Our goal is to make sure that you feel confident in each of them. And our roadmap is set up in a way that you can go through each skill semester by semester and check off those pieces so that you are engaging in this. So for example, August through September, you want to make sure that you're identifying your target career field. So within maybe the field of health data science analysis and research, what are the job titles you want to focus on? What is the sector you want to focus on? Are you interested in the more of a pharmaceutical private sector? Are you interested in the consulting sector, right? So what is the sector you're interested in? What are the type of job titles you're interested in? And what is the skills that you want to do on a day-to-day basis? So you want to start to identify that pretty early. So here's all the check boxes that you can do in order to gain confidence within that first skill of targeting career field identification. Then you want to target the field skill identification and development. So you want to understand, if you're interested in consulting, what are the key skills that you need to be able to be successful in and be able to articulate in order to get into the field of consulting, right? So being able to understand what those skills are, and then you can go check by check to gain confidence in that. Here's an example, September through December, things that you should be thinking about: position search, right? Things you can check off to gain those skills: resume, cover letter writing, and then LinkedIn profile and engagement. So you will have this document. This is just a snapshot of August through September, September through December of the first semester. You will have this for each semester of your program so that you can go step by step. We have this both for master's students and doctoral students. I also want to make sure that folks know about our international student webpage. So on this resource site at the top, you can see all these different tabs. We have an international student resources tab. You can click on that, and we have all sorts of support available for students here. I want to go back to my screen so you can just see some of the different resources that we have listed here. We have an international student career planning recording. We have a worksheet, a tracker, international student job board, and data for international students. So just to give you a quick overview of that, you can see all of those here. Here's the recording where you can listen to the recording as well as use the worksheet and the tracker for international students. This is our international student job board. So international students can use this to find positions, internships, and jobs that line up with their specific goals. We also have spreadsheets with information about where students who are international students have been hired for internships and jobs, and lots of additional resources and webinars as well. And I'm going to pass to Nika to talk about our employer fairs.
Okay, so not only will you get the training to practice these things and to gather your documents and prepare for a job search, we actually bring the employers to you. So we have employer fairs during the fall semester and the winter semester, and over the past 4, 5 that we've had, we have been able to bring each time just about up to 30 employers for you to be able to engage, interact with them, asking them about internships and jobs, and just really learning about the organization. During some of the career fairs, we also have an internship showcase where your peers, students that are actively still on campus, to be able to tell about their internship. What did they do? Who did they connect with? What did they benefit from their internship? Any type of advice or any type of guidance that they can give you as you will be looking and starting your internship search at that time. We have a quote here where the career fair left some students feeling very confident and is more excited about the opportunity rather than the nervousness and the doubt of I don't know where to go or how to start things. So the career fairs and the internship showcase are definitely really helpful, and we have them for you each semester. And then next, Stephanie's going to talk to you about alumni networking and mentoring event.
Thank you, Nika. Yeah, so we also offer alumni networking and mentoring events to help you connect with alumni who have been in your shoes before. So we might do that through panels, one-on-one meetings, and mentorship. So keep an eye out for those. We have a quote here from a student saying, "Career office events have been essential in helping me develop my network by introducing me to particular alumni who have then helped me make other connections." So it's always really, really valuable to have those alumni in your network, and we can help facilitate those connections for you. I'll pass it to Nika.
And then we have the career coaching appointment. You've heard us say that we come to the office, we're approachable. One of the things that we provide are career coaching and drop-in hours. So every day of the week, Monday through Friday, there's either an in-person or a virtual option for you to be able to join. You can also schedule an appointment with each of the career coach professionals and interns who will have an available schedule for you to be able to schedule an appointment according to your schedule, or you could just use one of the drop-ins. We recognize that timing can be really, really complex, and so this is a lot of options for you to be able to use at the time that's available for you. And you can talk about, again, the resume, cover letters, networking, interviewing, career options. There are times we have a student that drop in during one of our big events, which is on Wednesdays 1 to 4. It's a career community workspace, and sometimes students drop in and say, I have an interview in an hour. I just really want to go over a couple of questions. Can someone help me? And the answer is yes. And so it's not just a space for you to be able to receive help, but it's also just a working space. So if you just want to be in the environment of people that are working and you don't really have a question, or you may have a question later, well, our community career workspace is a great space to be able to do that. And then, if there's not anything we really want to make sure that you receive from them other than the resources, is to know that this is a welcoming space and we are really dedicated to supporting you during your journey. We have all of these pictures of different events. So we have one event during Valentine's Day. We had another event where we were just really allowing students to come and just be celebrated. Just we provide snacks and we provide just space to talk and to work. And so, as the pictures can kind of prove, we really, really follow through on the supporting and the welcoming space for you all. It can be intimidating, but hopefully, we want you to know that we're here to support and to be with you throughout the entirety of your journey here at the University of Michigan School of Public Health. And so, um, we have questions and answers. Do anyone have any questions or answers? If there's something we hadn't really tackled or haven't talked about that you are hoping to hear about today?
Oh
I'll
yeah,
put in a chat. Go ahead. Go ahead,
oh
Cameron.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry. I was actually wondering. So I noticed that you guys were showing that report of like the 2024 graduates for biostats, and it showed that about 45% were pursuing an advanced degree after graduation. So is that just among like, is that just narrowed down to is that chart just narrowed down to the master's students? Or is that like master's and PhD to get like together in that pie chart?
Yes, this report would be master's and PhD, and you can see at the bottom we have master's and PhD. So the report covers everybody, but in terms of like who is pursuing an advanced degree out of all of those people, we had 45%. So you can see a lot of our master's students are going on to do doctorate, but the doctorate students wouldn't be pursuing an advanced degree because they already have an advanced degree. So the chart is representative of everybody, and then out of everybody, we have the 45% pursuing an advanced degree, which would be out of the total, the master's students that are pursuing the advanced degree.
Oh, so you'd probably say that like more than half of the master's students went on to pursue doctorate degrees, you'd say? Oh wow. Wow, that's really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Thank you,
question, Karen.
Cameron. Yeah. Any
Oh
other
yeah,
questions?
oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess one more question that I would have, I guess so for students that end up going on to do the PhD, like master students in biostatistics, whether they stay at Michigan for the PhD or they go on to like some other PhD program in like statistics or biostats or epidemiology, what would you say kind of would like makes Michigan's master's program kind of stand out for students that are like going on to that program? Like, would you say like it's the coursework that kind of looks really good when they're applying, or like are they able to get some research opportunities and internships that help them get there?
Yeah, so University of Michigan is very, research focused. And so even in our MPH students who are less focused on the research, like there is still a research emphasis. So across all of the public health degrees, there is going to be an emphasis on research. There's going to be an emphasis on research skills training, and the connections and School of Public Health, you're connected to so many institutes too, right? So for example, if we go to our career preparation website, if we go to Health Data Science Analysis and Research, we go to this section here where it's like preparation for careers. These are all of the different research centers that are connected with the School of Public Health and University of Michigan. So if you are looking for research experience, the hands-on training, like you are coming to the right place in terms of research support and skills, and then the faculty support. And so we work with a lot of students that are applying for PhD programs, and we also provide support with navigating that process. So we have this section on our website called grad apps, master's and PhD. I have a workshop recording here that's applying to PhD programs, as well as applying to PhD program worksheet and a tracker, right, to support you through that process, and making sure that you have everything on your CV and your application materials to be successful. But there's just, especially within the biostats department, a lot of support with navigating that research journey and making sure that you're going through the publication process and that you have the skills to navigate that. And also, how are you tailoring your materials and getting feedback from the faculty, as well as our staff, to make sure that you're really standing out in that application process.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds really good. I definitely will like check out the workshop. Yeah.
Okay, well, I know we're at 12:45. Cameron, amazing questions. For folks that still have questions, please feel to reach out to us. I'll put our email address in the chat, umish.edu. And then, Stephanie, did you want to close us out with this slide? And then we'll pass it over to Nicole to wrap up.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, as you heard, we offer a range of services from job search, skills training, career coaching, drop-ins and appointments, public health career fairs, a very extensive library of digital resources. So definitely take advantage of that when you're here. We're here to support you. And we want to, like we said, like make careers a welcoming space so that you feel comfortable coming to us wherever you're at. You can also learn more about our support by just doing an online search for UMich SPH Careers and finding a lot more of our resources that way. And then you can follow us on Instagram as well, UMich SPH _careers. We're really excited to support you when you're here. So thanks so much for coming. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Nicole.
Thank you, everybody, for showing our prospective students or our current students just how much you do for our students. It's pretty amazing. And I just really appreciate all the resources and trainings and workshops and I'm excited about this fall, the new offering. From 12 to 1:30 on Fridays. I'm going to make sure we don't double book anything. Make sure our students can get to that. So anyhow, but thank you so much. And I hope that everybody that watches this realizes just how helpful this group has been and will be to them. So thank you.